Hey folks, I'm CPC Gamer, and welcome to the stream. Empirical Woodland, I'm not entirely sure I follow you with the idea that the music was too short, but I do appreciate the fishing command. It has been... I like fishing games. I've been known to play a time or two. Criddle, hello! Oh, Wales is here as well, and so is Zarkrai. Hi everyone. Hope we're all doing okay. I'm doing okay. I was back in work today, and you know what? So I mentioned that last week it feels like all I did was homework, and today I got to show what I've done so far. The music stopped twice? No, it's like 4 minutes 30 seconds. Pretty sure it fades out at one point and then comes back in. I don't know. Anyways, I got to show my homework to my mentor, and she's like, wow, that looks great. And we'll go through it properly tomorrow, but just like from a casual look through it, she's like, this looks good. And I feel justified, and I'm actually not entirely upset that I spent most of my time off working effectively. Yeah. Alright, let's get back to the game. So this is Beacon Pines. A game that is not particularly horror-y, but certainly very
Chapter
creepy.
6.
Okay. Give me a nudge if the volume needs to go up, because, like, on playback, it seems a little quiet. My Goblet of Fire joke still lands really, really well, but it could do with being a little louder. So now we know. Jaded Mew, hello. Hello, friends. That's you. You are friend-shaped.
Secret lair.
Lair.
Summer forged ahead, but the nights only seemed to grow colder. Luca walked home slowly under the pale starlight, cautious to avoid any more surprises lurking in the shadows. Reaching home, he slipped quietly into bed, half dreading what they might discover the next day.
What time is it? Criddle is fried brain shaped. Well, that's... Yes, I'm coming. Oh, dear Weast. So. Rolo, what on earth is that? Hmm? That ridiculous thing on your head. Oh, this? It helps me think. You're gonna need a lot more of those. Oh, snap! Joke all you want. We'll see who's laughing when I crack this case wide open. The coast is clear? Yep. Whatever she's been up to this week, it's been keeping her busy most of the day. Oh yeah, we can't trust Grandma. I forget if it's this timeline when we learned that. We can't trust Grandma. Very well. The game is afoot.
Luca and Beck rolled their eyes as Rollo strutted across the room.
If I were a Gran, where would I hide my deepest, darkest secrets? Probably one of those tins that's meant to have cookies in it, but it's always just a sewing kit. No one opens those, because it's always just a sewing kit. No one ever expects the deepest, darkest secrets to be in there. Perhaps where you might least expect it.
Rollo flung open the cabinet with confidence. He coughed as a veil of dust hit his face.
Jaded Mew went back and did the dine a bit. Not very exciting when doing it all at once. It would be nice if you're doing it throughout the game. Like, okay. So just It's cool that I'm finding stuff as opposed to just bulldozing ahead. I like that. I think it's safe to assume anything that dusty isn't what we're looking for. Or maybe that's what she wants you to think. Then again, any good detective knows not to trust their first hunch. First hunches are for suckers. Eureka! She's lit a fire in order to burn the evidence. She keeps that fire going every day, Rollo. Drat, it may already be too late. Just think of the mounds of documents lost to ash. Okay. I'm gonna stop you right there. Can we just think for a moment? Darkrai is lurking. Continue lurking. Do the science machine. Tell science hello from me. Luca, is there anywhere Gran doesn't want you to go? Yeah. Closet upstairs. So maybe it stands to reason that we should check there first. No dice. It's locked. Well, well, well. Look who stands to reason now. And I have no idea where the key is. If it really is important, then she probably keeps it with her. Anywhere else? She has her berry bushes. Who has ever thought I'm going to take this important thing and huck it in a bush? Aw, science says hello. I'll take it. True. Anything else? Maybe something out of the ordinary? Well, she is always worried I'll break a fancy dishware in the kitchen. But it doesn't matter anyway. I can't reach the latch.
A look of realization crept onto Luca's face. All three kids snapped to glance at each other, then sprinted in turn toward the kitchen.
Alright, Rollo. It is your time to shine. Ah, yes. You've called upon my expert detective skills. And now I shall proceed
Before he
with...
could finish, Luca scrambled up Rollo's back.
Yay, this isn't my idea of detective work. Every squad needs a good lockpick. And every good lockpick needs a sturdy head to sit on. This is beneath my standing. No complaining and hold still.
The three crowded around the hutch to peer in. With the glass doors opened, a perfect porcelain display gleamed in front of them. Their eyes searched for anything amiss. But the only distinct feature was its impeccability.
Well, that was anticlimactic. Yeah. I don't really know what we were expecting. Like, oh hey, we just yank at this random
As Beth
teacup
pulled
and...
on one of the teacups, it slanted forward with a hollow click. The entire hutch began to rustle and slide under its own power.
Seems like your gran has been doing some remodeling. Dude, only 2 types of people have secret layers. Evil masterminds and superheroes. So, which one do we think she is? We're going to find out. Okay, so more of an unhinged conspiracist vibe? Oh, wow! Yeah, this cannot be good. We need to look around before jumping to conclusions. She's got a conspiracy board! Something's going on, look at this!
A spider web of string connected photos of people from the town,
And there's spider webs of string?
interspersed with hastily scrawled notes.
Well, she sure has kept herself busy. Is your gran a serial killer? Because I'm starting to get a vibe. No, they're just one-offs. There's no series to them. Sure, she's just tracking the movements of everyone in town. Out of the kindness of her heart. She put little symbols by some of them. Yeah, Mr. Nuncreed has a check mark. The clipboards are all inside a big circle. My mom's are both on there. Both with question marks? Gus Valentine has a question mark. Harris has a question mark that's been crossed out. Mr. Kerr has a bullseye? The killer has chosen their next victim. We don't know what any of this means. Whatever it means, it's not good.
Luca jostled each cabinet drawer in turn. Only one was unlocked. He fingered through the filing cabinet, pausing at a bulging folder labeled Walter.
Phrasing!
For a long moment, he just stared at it.
Phrasing! What do you got there? It's my dad. Looks like some of his old medical files. Your dad was a doctor?
Luca nodded and caressed the label with his thumb.
Well, are you gonna read it? Hey. Here, let me help.
Rollo swiped the folder from the drawer and began leafing through the pages. He whistled to himself, barely looking at the text.
Chat, do you have like a placeholder? It's just tune that you hum or whistle if required to do so, like right now? How about you actually read some of it? One sec. Dense documents, such as this, are a lot like a cheeseburger. It's best to skip straight to the middle. That's where all the meaty bits live. Wow, I had no idea we were in the presence of a preeminent scholar in dense documents. And cheeseburgers. By all means, proceed. Rickstress, hello! Also, yeah, whichever song your brain goes to. I can see that.
He stopped at a page and mimed, holding up a monocle.
Ah, here we are. Follow-up examination of Terence Wilby. Patient shows further signs of paleness and malaise. Body temperature continues to drop. He now describes soreness of muscles and joints. This is similar to the symptoms exhibited by Mrs. Wilby just a few days past. Still waiting on lab results from Joseph.
Rollo looked up with heightened surprise.
See? Creepy! Yeah, that's kinda disturbing. Who's Joseph? That's Mr. Nuncreed's name. Wait.
Rollo's finger traced across the page.
There's more scribbled in the margins. Could it be contagious? Mr. Wilby claims that tap water at his home has been contaminated. Perhaps environmental? Lab results only raise more questions. It's like he came back to the report later and made those notes. So it might be related to something else.
Rollo scanned through several more pages.
Here, the writing looks shaky. I just couldn't help her. His disease, or whatever it is, progresses so fast. And with his wife passing, Terrence's condition follows close behind. Exacerbated by the loss. Enough is enough. I need to take matters into my own hands.
Luca, staring blankly at the cabinet this whole time, spoke softly.
What does it say next?
Rollo rustled the folder, trying to loose more pages.
That's where it ends. What? There has to be more.
Luca frantically shoved the remaining cabinet folders, trying to find another labeled Walter.
Luca, I think that's the only one. It's alphabetical, see? What did he mean, enough is enough? How did he take matters into his own hands? Language!
Luca slammed the drawer shut.
What do we have here? Barrels marked caution explosive. And jam jars? That's enough jam to feed the whole town. What kind of incendiary jam is your gran making? Incendiary Jam is the name of my indie band. We are a emo jazz ensemble. She wouldn't have had me walk around town delivering bombs. Right? Only one way to find out.
Rollo casually spun open a lid and dipped his finger in the jam. He
Huckleberries.
smacked his lips.
A hint of brown sugar. And... ink? What?
Rollo plunged his hand in the jar, fishing out a soggy slip of paper.
Aha!
Rollo offered the slimy note to Luca and licked his fingers clean.
It's addressed to Mrs. Fratelli. A grand jamgram? It says, last night I used the disguise Eris provided to scout the location. The timing window should be possible. Operation Sparkplug is a go. Oh man, are they doing a heist? Whatever it is, it can't be good. So more of a bombshell than a bomb, am I right? You're new here, so I'll let it slide. But I'm the bad joke guy around here. I do like bad jokes.
They crowded around a worn-down old map of Beacon Pines.
Incendiary Jam is just napalm, offers Empirical Woodland. You make a fair point. Cool. This looks like a treasure map. Not every old map is a treasure map, Rollo. Yeah, but every treasure map is an old map. Can't fault that logic. Look, there's even a pathway drawn on it. It starts at the entrance to town. And if we follow it,
Rollo carefully traced the path with his finger.
it leads right to...
He jabbed down at the end point.
Town Square? That's the fountain in the middle of town. What a weird place to hide treasure. Rollo, that doesn't look like treasure to me. The end of the path on that map has the same symbol as those explosives over there. So, not hiding treasure. Real bummer. Rollo, what's the thing you've been excited about for the past month? The festival? Did you just say gulp? This feels like a gulp kind of situation. Everyone will be gathered near the center of town. She's gonna blow up the festival! Not if we stop her. What was that?
Luca looked up from the map.
What was what? No, I heard it too. That was the front door. Which means someone just shut the door. Which means someone's upstairs. Shh, quiet. Hit the lights.
Beck flicked off the light, and they became statues in the dark. Overhead, creaking floorboards bent under slow, deliberate steps. The kids looked up, the tilt of their necks following each footfall.
Someone would have to know that they were down there, surely.
It stopped.
Like the door is open.
Without realizing, they'd been holding their breath. All three exhaled shakily and glanced at each other. A muffled male voice broke the silence.
Hello?
A final few footsteps reached the entrance above them, and the voice now echoed down the stairs.
Anyone down there? I forget what voice I gave Mr. Squirrel Man. I'm so sorry.
As he began to descend the stairs, the man's voice punctuated every new step. Thump,
Yoo-hoo! I'm not here to hurt anyone.
Thump.
I'm just here to help. Just...
At the bottom step, the man paused, squinting to search the room for signs of life.
Guess it's nothing.
Rollo shifted suddenly. Luca gave him an intense, chastising look and whispered through clenched teeth.
Rollo, don't.
It was too late. Rollo was already inching toward the stairway. He screeched as he charged toward the shadowy figure.
Flaming chicken coop!
With all his weight, Rollo tackled the man to the ground.
Rollo? Mysterious creepy man? Anyone there?
From the dark corner, they saw something move.
Well, I didn't know I had it in me. But there was only one way to find out. Holy crap, Rollo, that was awesome! Wait, did you just kill that person?
Luca scrambled to the hunched figure on the ground. Pressing his fingers to the man's neck, he sighed with relief.
You sure clobbing him good, Rollo. He's knocked out cold.
As Beck flicked back on the light, Luca and Rollo both gasped in stereo.
Mr. Tolliver!
Chapter 7.
Oh, there was no divergent point in that. Interesting.
The interrogation of Hiram Tolliver. Still unconscious, Mr. Tolliver slumped heavily in a shoddy old chair. His hands were bound with rope, his feet tied with some loose string. The kids huddled in a circle, discussing their plan. One thing was certain, they couldn't just let Mr. Tolliver go. They needed to know what he was doing in Luca's house. After some deliberation, it was decided.
Hello there, Click. How you doing? Oh, this is going to be fun. They'd run the classic good cop. Oh, maybe not. I'll be honest with you. I was going to go for whatever that other one was. Debonair. Good cop, chill cop.
They'd run the classic good cop, chill cop interrogation.
I'll handle this. Just gotta play it cool.
Luca walked calmly to the light switch, flicking it off and on a few times.
Yes, the Empirical Woodland get a good cop, incendiary cop.
Mr. Tolliver shook his head, gathering his wits.
Golly, I sure got my bell rung.
He looked over to find Luca, who returned a calming grin.
Sorry, Mr. Tolliver. This was all a big mistake. Luca, what's going on here? Why do you have me strapped down? No one's fault, really. Rollo just got a little startled. Rollo's here?
Rollo and Beck emerged from hiding to give a timid wave.
Well, alright. Mistakes happen. You kids gave old Hiram a good scare. Just, get me out of these ropes and call it even.
Luca glanced over to Rollo and Beck, who replied with skeptical looks.
Mrs. Tolliver, why are you in my grand's basement? Well, I'm here to help, of course. Help with what? What's my gran up to? If you'll just cut me loose, I can show you. How do I know we can trust you?
Mr. Tolliver exhaled with disappointment.
I'm not entirely convinced that we can, because we came to this divergent point with only one, like, token. So we're gonna have to come back here. Luca, have I ever done wrong by you? No? And since your gran moved to town, haven't I been nothing but welcoming? Yeah? So why would I turn my back on your family now? It's just... All this stuff seems pretty weird. Board with names of people from town. The archive of my dad's old disturbing patient notes.
Luca gestured to the corner.
Barrels of explosives. I can explain everything. You just need to untie me. You kids deserve an explanation.
Luca looked again to Rollo and Beck. This time they shrugged. Luca began to slowly loosen the bindings. Mr. Tolliver gently rubbed his wrists.
That's a good lad. This'll all make sense in time.
He edged imperceptibly toward the stairs as he spoke.
You see, this town has secrets, Luca. A very dark past indeed.
Before the kids had even noticed his movement, Mr. Tolliver was at the light switch.
A past that must be brought to...
He punctuated his final words by flicking the switch and rushing up the stairs.
Light! Son of a...
Beck darted to the wall and turned back on the lights. It was too late. Rollo confirmed what they all heard.
He just locked us down here.
Mr. Tolliver's muffled voice came from behind the door.
I wasn't lying, you know. This is for your own good. You kids, just keep tight down there and let the adults handle this.
They looked bewildered at each other.
Play it cool, huh? Not now, Beck.
They heard the staccato thump of quick steps exiting the house. The kids looked down in resignation. This isn't how it goes in Hank Atomic. For some reason, they'd always assumed it was up to them to save their town. Luca opened his mouth, hoping to conjure some magical words to make this right. Only a hollow croak escaped. The end.
That's not the words you're supposed to say. Come on, Luca.
Well, we certainly aren't going to find a grand resolution to our tale locked in a basement. Back to the drawing board.
I do like that as a divergent point. Beginner's Guide to Hostile Interrogation. So. Wow, we have actually got like 2 major points to choose from, haven't we? Okay, cool. Beck called to Luca before he made his way past the gate. Wait up, I'll walk you home. Surprised, Luca turned around. He knew Rollo could be prickly around new people, but Beck seemed cool. Rollo would warm up to her eventually. Probably. Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to... rumble.
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to rumble with ominous thunder.
You sure we can make it home before the storm kicks off?
Luca surveyed the roiling clouds.
I'd say the odds are good. Maybe you should stay here and I'll just make a break for it.
At that moment, the heavens opened up, unleashing torrential rain.
Care to recalculate those odds? Go inside, you two, before you catch cold. Luca, Nellie will keep trying to reach your ground on the phone. Meantime, you two hold tight. Sorry, not much to do up here. Most of my stuff's still in the boxes. Mind if I poke around? Be my guest. Look at the flowers!
Luca bent down to examine the bouquet of wilting flowers. Judging by the odor, they were well past their prime.
Okay.
He flipped open the attached card.
Good cop, pungent cop. Happy trails from Coach Walker and all the Fairview Condors. Well, you weren't kidding around poking around, huh? Oh, sorry. Was this from your old school? The most recent one, yeah. Some schools gave me going away cards. Some did flowers. And they're really trying to feel good about themselves. They do both. So you've moved a lot. Yeah, that's the thing with having a brilliant parent. It's always a better job somewhere else. These flowers would last longer if you put them in some water. That's the sort of thing I'd do if I cared. Well, you cared enough to keep them is all. Oh wow. Roland and I have a radio just like this one at the treehouse. Probably not exactly like this one. My mom and I tore the whole thing down to the bolts. Fitted some state-of-the-art vacuum tubes. She seems pretty awesome. She gets carried away sometimes. I think she feels guilty for working too much. When she does have time for me, she showers me with high-tech overcompensation.
Luca flicked at one of the toggles.
I bet you can get all sorts of stations on this. Not out here in the boonies. You wouldn't believe the stuff I could pick up back in the city. But around here, it's all farm reports and static. Ah, shucks. If only we had listened to the farm report, we wouldn't be stuck in the rain. Lavish. That's the word I was thinking of using. Good cop, lavish cop.
Luca squinted into the eye hole of the microscope.
This looks wild. What is it? Gum. Gum?
Luca adjusted the slide with his fingers to get a better look.
I'm tracking the structural integrity of gum with increased amounts of chewing. Chewed that one for 47 days.
Luca wiped his hand off on his sweater and gave a nervous laugh.
It's weird, I know.
Beck looked down, timidly tapping the ladder with her feet.
You think it's weird, don't you? A little. But weird can be cool. Luca, can I ask you something? Of course. Dang! Didn't that hurt? I'll be honest, that hurt more than I expected. Well, at least you look cool doing it.
Beck took a moment to watch the rivulets of water running down the window.
Do you ever feel alone? Like, even when people are around? Well, Rollo can be pretty absent-minded sometimes. I'm serious. Did you ever feel like your family doesn't care what you want? I didn't used to feel that way. Used. I know Gran loves me, but sometimes when she looks at me, it's like she's looking at a problem.
Luca took a deep breath, exhaling slowly.
I know the feeling. How do you deal with that? I guess I haven't yet. But one thing my dad told me when I was little: don't hold a grudge, especially against yourself. If you try to hold it all in, you're gonna pop. So then, what do you do when you don't know what to do? Dad never got to that part. Something I figured out on my own, though. You gotta do something. Anything. Here. What are you doing? I don't know. Something. I'm gonna register our complaints with the storm. I'm going to scream at God! Listen here, you miserable universe. Stop jerking me around. I just want things to go back to the way they were. No one tells me it's gonna be alright. Things are gonna change.
Luca let out a feral scream that echoed into the night.
Every time something changes, everything gets worse. Screw this town. Whoa. Let me try. Moving sucks. I hate it. I hate it that I hate it. I gotta just deal with it. Be happy for my mom. Why can't we just stay somewhere?
Her voice dropped
Oh man, I should have done this when we were moving around. I just want to be a normal kid.
Beck brushed off her shirt and straightened up.
There. Wow, I actually feel a little better.
As abruptly as it began, the storm abated.
Thanks. I needed that. Me too. I should head out before the rain starts up again. Sure, I'll walk you out. See you and Rollo at the festival? Sounds good. Luca? Don't let the universe jerk you around.
Beck gave Luca a light thump on the arm before heading in. Chapter 5.
She's pretty cool. I like Beck.
Friendly feud. The air was heavy with the hard rain's residue. The smell of wet things. Despite his dreary surroundings, Luca felt at peace. He'd never shared those details about his dad with anyone. Not even Rollo. But it's not like this changed anything. Rollo was still his best friend. Adding Beck to the group would help balance things out. Everything's better in threes.
Empirical Woodland is actually a pretty good judge of my character in general, and like, I'm gonna take you at your word when you say that. Beck is a very you character. Like, alright, I will go with that. I will duck my head over here and have a drink. Don't mind me.
This is what Luca told himself as he headed to the treehouse.
The tree house? Oh! So when we came back with Beck last time, that's when we saw Grandma meeting with Eris, and they were in the hazmat suit. But either we've missed that, or it didn't happen because of the rain. Interesting. If I had to write a character that was designed as Andy would like this character, that's Beck. Okay. Needs a scarf, though. Hey, Dawn. Tracking down a lead? You bet. I heard a juicy new rumor. Turns out, when Sharper Valentine died, he left behind a peculiar last will and testament. Peculiar? How? He didn't just give his kids an inheritance. There were conditions. Like what? The document stipulated that Harris had to take on a child as her ward. A kid our age who just showed up in town one night with a lawyer. Solomon? Bingo! So Eris was forced to take care of him? Yep, or she would have lost everything. Why would Sharper care so much about some random kid? Rumor has it, old Sharper sowed some wild oats. That explains the way Eris treats him. Or Solomon. I mean, realistically... Luca! Why does someone care? You're some random kid. Why do we care about you? Because you're the guy we're following around. We care about the setting. How did you find all this out? Good reporter never reveals her source, Luca. I'd better not dilly-dally. Who says dilly-dally anymore? Oh wait, Mr. Cool does.
Jeff's hardware closed down about a year ago.
Oh.
The effects of the foul harvest stretched wide. When there are no crops in the field, tractors don't need fixing.
I guess it was really important for us to know that. Please to be bearing that in mind. Hey, what am I doing? He met his old friend's eyes and was greeted with nothing but ice-cold anger. Heavens! This is no time for fractured friendships. Oh, Rolo's gonna be so mad at me for hanging out with a girl. Excuse me, what are you doing? I was just looking up... Oh wait, no, that's the guy. I was just looking up for the night, sir. Oh, wonderful. I can only assume this means all festival preparations have been completed ahead of schedule. Not exactly, sir. The storm set us back a bit, and it's getting late, so we all decided to... You all decided? Yes, sir. I was unaware that your job involved deciding things. We are all here at Perennial Harvest because we believe in creating a better future, yes? Yes, sir. Very much, sir. Do you want to be the one to tell this town that we failed them? No. That we gave up because there was a little rainstorm and we all got sleepy? Of course not, sir. Good. Then it's decided. Yes, sir. We'll work until the task is done. See that you do. Our harvest awaits. So I hope that it shows through that I'm just beaming wildly as I voice the clipboards. And I don't necessarily notice this until the next day, because smiling for prolonged periods of time, like really forcing it, that kind of hurts after a while. What's up with that? Rolo, you still up there? I'm sorry, Rolo isn't accepting visitors at the moment. Come back never.
Luca had only ever heard him speak in this stiff yet gentle tone a few times, and it always meant one thing.
You're upset. Oh? What makes you say that? Maybe because my best friend abandoned me for no reason. I didn't abandon you. Just a little late.
Rolo scoffed.
The rain held me up. Liar! You weren't even home. What? The storm got bad, and I got worried, so I went looking for you. Imagine my surprise when I made it to your house, and you weren't there. I hadn't made it back yet. Not a fool, Luca. It doesn't take all day to deliver some jam. No, that storm rolled in out of nowhere. Some guy called CPC Gamer clicked a little talisman and made it happen. And I got stuck after dinner at Beck's.
Luca stumbled on his words, knowing he'd said too much.
Beck? Dinner? What the heck is a Beck? She's a new kid in town. She's actually kind of cool. You'd like her. She needed help convincing her parents that she'd made new friends. New friends? I spent all day waiting for you. And you were off making new friends? It's not like that, Rolo. You know, while I was waiting, I made some upgrades to Mission Control. I was gonna be a surprise. But you took so long, the storm knocked it all down. It's like you knocked down our friendship! What does that even mean?
Luca became instinctively angry in response. Both boys were now shouting across the distance.
It means you're a bad friend. You don't care about me. Cause I care, you ass. I knew I'd get in trouble waiting so late for you, but I kept my word, cause that's what friends do. Oh wow, what a noble sacrifice you made. Easy for you to say. Your grand doesn't even care. You can stay out as long as you want, and you wouldn't even get in trouble. Seriously? You're acting like I chose this? If that's what you think, then maybe you're the bad friend.
His tone changed to a calm, yet more intense anger.
Maybe Pa's right. Storms bring more than water. Someone brought out the real Luca. I'm quoting your Pa's nonsense like it means anything. Yeah, well at least my Pa is still around. Oh!
The words hung in the cold night air. Rolo's stomach dropped, knowing he'd crossed a line. But it was too late.
Luca, Good night, Rolo. kind of feel the urge to explore like every little thing now. Because what if we look at a plant and we...
Luca dug through his old stuff, not even sure what he was looking for.
Yes! I just imagine him chunnering this whole thing. Ooh, call me a bad friend. Ooh, I'm Rolo. Look at me, my amazing family. Can we get out the door? Oh, we definitely can't get it out the door. Okay. I'm also pretty sure that this isn't going to give us another word to play with. Because that's what I was looking for as I was digging through that box. I want more words. Good cop, football cop. Guess I'm just never supposed to make new friends. Oh, hey, there you go. Luca?
Gran cooed gently from the hallway.
You slept straight through breakfast. Luca, you alright? I'm fine. Just don't feel like getting up yet. Okay, I'll leave this oatmeal by the door. I've got to run out and take care of some things. Okay. I'll be back later to check in. Sure.
Luca just wanted to be alone. He waited to hear the sound of the front door closing.
Alright, you're my friend now, Wilson. Let's go. Yeah, Rolo's still gonna go to the festival. Ugh. It's gonna be miserable. Also, I'm amazed we haven't broken anything by doing this. Good job. Anything else I can play with? Rolo thinks I'm going to the festival with him. You can shove it.
Luca dozed off again.
I was gonna go get that porridge. Luca, I see you didn't eat your oatmeal. Wasn't hungry. Well, just in case you get hungry, I'll leave a sandwich here too. Thanks. Rolo came by. What did he say? He wanted to talk to you. What did you say? I told him you weren't feeling well. Good. So, your plan is to just sit in your room all day? Pretty much. Well, I need to pop away again for a minute. If you decide to end your pity party and go outside, I think it'd do you some good. Noted.
Luca still couldn't bring himself to go out. Besides, if he ran into Rolo, he'd have to actually confront the situation.
Never anything interesting at the festival anyway. Oh! Connect football with book. That is how I choose to interpret this prompt. Yeah!
The Adventures of Hank Atomic.
Complete first volume.
Luca carefully opened the cover and began to read. Rolo had received it for his birthday, a special hardcover edition with behind-the-scenes commentary and bonus art. Rolo cherished it, but asked that Luca keep it at his house. Luca wasn't sure if it was because Rolo didn't trust himself with it, didn't trust his sister around it, or just wanted an excuse to come hang out at Luca's more often. Whatever the reason, Luca didn't mind. But it had stayed right there where Rolo had stashed it ever since. Now, at the foot of his bed, Luca lost himself in the pages. He'd read it all before, but at this moment, it somehow felt sentimental. He was well into issue number 5 when he heard soft footsteps from the hallway.
Sorry, that's on me. I accidentally caught the controller and I cut off the word sentimental. I'm the worst streamer on Twitch. Luca? Another little friend came to see you. A girl named Beck Modwell. Modwell? I forget how to pronounce that. She said you met yesterday? What did she say? Is she here? She was just dropping by. I told her you weren't taking visitors today. Oh. She seems nice. Yeah. You had a fight with Rolo, didn't you? Can I come in? Maybe later. Alright then. I'll leave dinner on the kitchen table. In case you want to bite before bedtime.
Without realizing it, Luca had pouted away the entire afternoon. He once again felt the weight of it all and allowed his weary eyes to close. Luca stood in a vast black expanse. He looked up at his father standing beside him. Walt was working a straw at the bottom of a fountain glass, trying to collect the last bits of milkshake. Dad, where are we? Taking a final loud gurgling sip, his father peered up from the glass. He jangled the straw playfully with a warm smile, then lifted the empty glass as if to point into the darkness.
Hello, Spockman. How you doing?
The source.
We good?
Luca's eyes followed his father's gesture. In an instant, he was sitting in front of a blazing camp. Across from him sat a large figure in a yellow hazmat suit.
Oh no.
The figure's voice was a scratchy echo. Well, if it isn't the man of the hour, make yourself comfortable. Luca held his shivering hands over the flame to warm himself. It doesn't work that way here. Their yellow-gloved hand pointed to the base of the flame. It's a cold flame, see? Luca peered at the base of the fire. It wasn't wood that was burning. It was Beacon Pines itself. Tiny buildings, freezing and crumbling as they were consumed by flame. Luca could see small shadows moving in the burning city. People. Luca leapt to his feet. We've got to help them! The figure gave a dismissive wave of their hand. Why waste energy helping people who can't even help themselves? The figure bent down to examine the panicked crowd as they desperately tried to stop the flames. They only care about what's right in front of them. Not like us. Luca's voice was a trembling whisper. Us? The figure slowly stood up, grabbing its helmet with both hands. With a jolt and a twist, the suit emitted a gasp. A cloud of torpid mist escaped, slowly revealing the face within.
Torpid! That's a good word!
Luca's own face looked back at him. Older, worn, distant. The sensation was oddly familiar, as if he'd caught his own reflection by surprise in the mirror. The doppelganger smiled. I tried to help once. He gestured towards his face, and all it got me was this. Luca staggered back. You aren't me. Luca felt a hand catch his shoulder. His father was there again, beside him. Every choice sets us on a path. This is the end of one of your paths, son. Luca watched his older self shake its head ruefully, its face twisting into a cruel grin. Well, Dad, if you wanted him to see this, far be it from me to disappoint. Luca watched in shock as the figure took a confident step forward and plunged into the flames. In a flash of cold light, he was gone. What does all of this mean? Luca felt a reassuring squeeze on his shoulder. Just remember, why we choose matters just as much as what we choose. Luca woke up to see a hazy figure at the foot of his bed, silhouetted in the morning sun.
I wish to interject. I've tried to justify every decision I have made at the divergent points, and I don't believe I've gotten a single one of them right. I don't have a follow-up or snappy comment. I've just not got any of it right. No, dear. It's only Gran.
Luca rubbed his eyes. The kind, concerned face of his gran came into focus.
How are you feeling? Fine. Anything you want to talk about? I don't feel like talking. That's just as well. How about you sit there and listen a bit? Whatever you and Rolo fought about doesn't matter. But he...
Gran silenced Luca with a gentle pat on the leg.
Fights between friends happen. What was said doesn't matter. The important thing is that it's not the last thing you ever say to each other. He said stuff about Dad. Well, do you think he meant it? No. He was just mad. Mm-hmm. And did you mean any of the things you said to him? No. Good. One must appreciate friends in their best moments, and accept them in their worst. Now get your little butt out of bed. Festival's today. You don't want to miss that, do you? I guess not. Seems like a good opportunity to make amends with Rolo, doesn't it?
Luca gave a reluctant nod.
So buy him a corn dog and apologize. But he's the one that... What did I just say? Buy him a corn dog. That's a good boy. Everything's better with corn dogs. I need to get going now. Got some last-minute festival business to take care of. I'll come find you at the fountain a little after lunch. All right. I love you, Luca. Love you too.
Luca took a deep breath.
Okay.
Chapter 6.
Sparkman asks, what is this game? Real life simulator? No. It's life in Quiet Town simulator. But occasionally, can I do it here? Oh, I can't do it here. It's grayed out. There's like divergent paths, and depending on the word you pick, that's just how the story goes. We ended up locked in a basement in another timeline, and in this one, I don't think we're ever going to get to that basement, because we're all just arguing with each other.
Through thick and thin. Despite Luca's bitterness, Gran was right. He needed to hash things out with Rolo. A big fight changes the nature of a friendship. Whether, in the end, it is for the better or for the worse, all comes down to understanding.
Oh, that was two lines cut together.
If one is not careful, the same familiarity that builds the strongest of bonds can become the wrecking ball that shatters them. Luca emerged from seclusion, taking in the crisp festival air. But the events of the day weren't on his mind. He had to find Rolo.
Okay, so, Sparkmane. Now we can do it. If we push this here button, these are the choices that we have made so far. How did we lie to our Gran? Doesn't matter. That one, we just progress through the story. That's the tutorial. How did we get past this character? And then that sets us on this path, or maybe that path. And we're currently going this way. And this one, we finished this path. That didn't go very well. So I'm guessing we're going to branch off like up and to the right with this one. I guess we'll find out. Yeah. Kicking up dandelions. Be back in a minute, they say. Okay. Good cop, dead cop. Andy like, get out of here. Go do, you'll be back in a minute. There you are. Luca. Rolo wanted me to tell you something. What is it?
Roxy rolled her eyes, shaking her head.
Space adventure, though you needn't buy it. If be brave, go somewhere quiet. Roxy, I don't... It's a riddle, Luca. Goofy little brother wants you to find him.
Luca looked down and kicked at the dirt.
Look, I know you two had a fight. The only thing more annoying than my little brother is my little brother without his best friend. So I'm doing him this one favor. Now I need one favor from you. Whatever it is that went down between you two, squash it. If I had to guess, it's gonna be mission control. How goes the beetle hunt? Pretty rotten. I haven't seen so much as an XUVA. And it's not just the beetles. This morning I couldn't find any critters at all. It's like everything the buzz is or skid is just packed up and left. I'm sure they're out there. I'm sure they're out there. Somewhere. Maybe all the commotion of the festival just spooked them. Yeah, maybe that's it. I want to talk to you guys. I'm gonna go to mission control. Can I fish? I can!
Luca stuck a toy stretchy hand onto the hook. Those things always get dirty anyway.
That's pretty cool, actually. Like, it's the same, same setup as we had before. We've still got the duck and the boot. And now we've got a bracelet. Should we give it to Mom? She likes jewelry. It's a sweet thought, Buckaroo. But I'm not sure she'd fully appreciate a pawn bracelet.
Luca placed a sinker on the line. Sometimes the best stuff is at the bottom of the pond.
And then we catch another talisman. Ooh. Malice 80 proof whiskey. A hard liquor for a hard man. Let's leave that be. Takes a real piece of work to leave something like that lying around.
Luca wrapped a twig of thyme around the hook. Some fish have refined taste.
Is that a pocket watch? Nice. Property of Sharper Valentine. Figures. If he had his way, property of Sharper Valentine would be written on everything in this town. Should we give it back to him? He may not even want it back. Man's got a contentious relationship with me. Time. We'll keep it here in case he ever wants to pick it up. Looks like we could use some new bait. What do you say we head out and find some more? We were joking about this very thing today, and that's why Empirical Woodland has set up a fishing command just for me. Did you hear? After Mr. Kirk gave his big speech, they're gonna have the first annual biggest catch competition. As long as a boot qualifies as a catch, I'm a shoo-in. Good luck. Alright, anyways. I guess I was wrong. But we do have a cool beanbag animation. Nice. Yeah, come on, come on. There we go. Right. Sup. Roxy does not care, and neither did the music. Just abruptly stop. I heard that. Alright, that's just soup. I'll bet you. Oh, B's not gonna tell me where he is? That's fine. I don't need to know anyway. I can figure it out. The library. The library, you say?
Kato's eyes lit with excitement.
The first. Well, Luke does go all out, doesn't he?
Kato straightened up and cleared his throat as if preparing to sing. Kato stared at Luca eagerly.
No, it's okay. Let me figure it out. Luca is not me. Let me tell you that much. Hey, I got a puzzle. You want to solve it? No.
Luca grabbed the 5 pillars of success from the shelf. Luca grabbed the issue with self-help, a helpful guide. Luca grabbed 500 meals for 1 big pot from the shelf.
So I think it's going to be, it's going to be Hank Atomic, like, the anthology, issue 5, right? And,
Luca grabbed the modern science of atomic radiation from the shelf. Luca grabbed natural photography, volume 5, from the shelf.
Penguin, I'm mixing up all these books, and because you're not going to tell me the answer.
The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue number 4, from the shelf.
Hi, Jace. Still looking through the newest Hank Atomic? You know what fascinating canon it was at the end. Did you know? Hank Atomic's shrink array doesn't technically shrink stuff. It uses inverse quantum particle decay to literally grow the universe around an object, leaving that object unaltered. So it just looks shrunk compared to everything else? Bingo. That's wild. But Jace, no spoilers, please. Oh, right, sorry. Man, did you know that Goku's instant transmission isn't teleportation? He just moves instantaneously really, really fast?
Luca grabbed The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue number 5, from the shelf.
There you go. See? Take issue number 5, and then...
Luca grabbed The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue number 4, from the...
Issue number 4, because then the 5th character dies in it. That's what I'm thinking. Man, I thought I was being smart. I thought they were gonna...
grabbed The Adventures of Hank Atomic.
I thought they were gonna do it the other way around.
Luca grabbed The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue number 5, from the shelf.
And they were gonna go, oh man, issue 5? That's after the 5th King of Quecks dies. What kind of rube doesn't know the law? And the answer is me.
Kato removed his book from the desk and replaced it with Luca's, turning on the lamp. As he slid the book under the purple light, 2 words glowed.
I'm sorry, has Rolo gone and, like, defaced library property? Pretty sure you're not allowed to do that.
The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue 5. Luca clicked his tongue with recognition.
Rolo's Cipher Pen. He used to write secret messages everywhere with that. Arden Slacker, hello, hello. And only I had the special flashlight needed to reveal it. But I lost it. Oh, Rolo.
Kato began flipping through the pages, stopping when he hit a glowing word. He continued flipping. Reaching the end of the book, Kato looked up.
Grift? In? Grub? Cart? Griffin? Griffin's grub cart! He wants me to go to Griffin's snack stand. Thanks, Kato. We go to the snack stand, and we buy him a corn dog, and that's what makes him happy. And then we can still be friends. Which way was that? I don't think it's... that down there is the ice cream cart. I think it's up here, right? Maybe it's at the... festival? Ain't moving. Is it the ice cream cart? I would not categorize ice cream as grub. But apparently the game would. Hey, Griffin. Did Rolo come?
Before Luca could finish his sentence, Griffin handed him a corn dog.
Oh. That's it? Bought and paid for. Enjoy. I thought there was supposed to be a riddle or something.
Luca shrugged, taking a sizable bite out of the corn dog.
Yuck. It's cold. Oh yeah, that's been sitting there for a while. Rolo wanted me to be sure to give you that one specifically. Well, that's just...
Luca tongued at his cheeks, feeling something rough between his teeth. He reached into his mouth and pulled out a slip of paper.
Oh, come on!
He shook off the bits of corn dog to read the slip.
A pickup when you need some pep. Near the fountain, up the step.
Luca finished off the remainder of the corn dog.
This is gonna be a whole thing. This one is soup. We have to go bother them. See, cause like this is like the pick-me-up. There's like the cafe over here. I keep hitting the down button because that does something in Axiom Verge. And I'm just used to that. Hello. Hey, Soup. Tell me what the answer is. There you are, Luca. There's no way I'm actually doing this. It's way below my pay grade. Oh, come on, you big stiff. Let the kids have some fun. Fine. Rollo owes me one.
Lumi waved his hands around sarcastically as he began.
What takes flight but has no wings? Your final task a friendship brings. See, that wasn't so hard. Good cop, hard cop. I feel cheapened somehow. I think it's sweet. Good luck, Luca. Don't mind me, I'm just enjoying the music box melodies for a little while. Okay! Hey. Hey. Did you find the comic book? Yep. And you bought the corn dog? Yeah. Oh then. I know it doesn't make up for what I said. But here, you've earned this.
Rollo sheepishly handed Luca the balloons.
Thanks. That was a seamless transition. Very well done, game. You didn't have to go to all this trouble. I'm sorry I got so mad. Dang it, you're supposed to let me apologize first. Oh. Sorry. Now you've apologized twice before me. Just let me do this. Luca, I'm really sorry. Everything that's happened with your mom and all, I've always wanted to be there for you. You're a good friend, you know? But when you said you were hanging out with someone else, I kind of freaked out. Although, still my turn. I felt like if you needed some new friend to help you, it meant that I wasn't good enough. Well, that was selfish and wrong. I was wrong. I'm so sorry, Luca. Okay, apology over. You can talk now.
Luca threw himself at Rollo, hugging him as tightly as he could.
Although I don't deserve you. I don't deserve you either. That's why we deserve each other. So, what else do you want to do today? We could snoop around, try to find some info about your mom. Snoop where? Would probably sneak into Perennial Harvest HQ while everyone's at the festival. Aren't you curious about all the stuff those clipboards write down? What if we get caught? I think I've had enough excitement for 1 week. Let's just make the rest of the day about us. Really? Yeah. The rest of the world can wait one more day. You know, I have been waiting to get some work done on the MCDC at Mission Control. Game's a bit unpredictable. That sounds perfect. Oh! And then, oh, the motion tweening does not like that. Motion tweening is not an acceptable substitute for animation. Do I have any more bait? Any of those words count? No, they don't.
Luca gently baited a feather onto the
No,
hook.
no, ow!
Good for skimming the surface.
Luca ran away. Went back to play with his balloons. Oh, I almost forgot. I ran into your gran this morning. She asked me to give you this.
Rollo handed Luca an unopened letter.
I'll wait for you inside if you want to read it now. A letter?
Luca, some things are going to happen that might be difficult for you to understand.
Oh no!
If I am honest, I hardly understand them myself. But whatever happens, I need you to know that I love you. None of this is fair to you. You have already lost so much.
Oh no!
We both have. I wish there was a simpler way forward. But if there is, I haven't thought of it. God knows I've tried.
You've Remember how I keep talking about Rocky Horror dialogue?
Everything I've done, I did for you. I hope someday you can accept that. Love, Gran.
I love you too, Gran.
Luca folded the paper into his pocket and headed up the ladder.
What's up with the letter? Anything you want to talk about? Maybe later. Sure, whenever you want. You know, you really didn't have to go to all that trouble just to apologize. I know. We've been looking forward to the festival for weeks. And after I ruined everything with my big mouth, this was the best way to make sure you still had a good time without me. Hello.
Luca was at a loss for words. But that was fine. Words aren't always necessary.
Festival seemed nice. Was it nice? We can still go? Nah, this is fine. Well, there's always next year.
Sadly, this was untrue. A distant rumble shook the treehouse.
Huh? What was that? Aw, man, we missed the fireworks.
It was not fireworks. It was something the boys couldn't possibly comprehend. Something as old and cruel as time itself.
I was not expecting that.
Cold tore through the room. A bitter, unfathomable chill. Before they could react, it encased them in ice. Two boys, reunited by friendship, only to be cruelly separated by a malevolence beyond reason. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a silent treehouse turned statuary, in a town brought low by its secrets, sits a pair of friends, alone, together.
That's okay. Like, I knew something was going down. Gran sent us the message that was like,
For the rest of time.
hey, something's about to go down.
The end. No, that can't be the ending. It simply can't. I won't accept it, and I hope you won't either. There are more endings. More possibilities. I can feel it.
Are we just playing funny games at this point?
We are just going to have to sort through them all until we find the one that fits.
Well, here's where I'm at, ending-wise. We got this way. Oh my goodness. I was joking when I said good cop, hard cop, but there we go. We'll take that as a joke. And then... yeah, we got two more options over here. Cool. Okay. Well... do you know what? I was going to go over here and, like, pick hard, I'll be honest, because we did chill cop earlier. Didn't really work. So... I'm gonna go with my gut.
They'd run the classic good cop, hard cop interrogation.
But yes, please try not to spoil. So it is the first playthrough, and like, don't even worry about it. You caught it and you called yourself on it. That's cool.
Gaze.
But yeah, I'm gonna see what's going on.
I've got this. Read about it 100 times. Rollo swaggered past the chair which propped up the slumping Hiram Tolliver. Without even looking at his captive, he began with a long, blustery drawl.
Well, Mr. Tolliver.
Mr. Tolliver remained motionless. Rollo spun around to face him. He'd clearly expected to rouse Mr. Tolliver with his booming voice.
Mr. Tolliver?
Beck and Luca gave each other an unsure glance. Rollo slammed his fist on the table.
I said, Mr. Tolliver!
He grabbed the table lamp and beamed it onto the unconscious face. Mr. Tolliver groaned and slowly lifted his head. He recoiled with a muddled, weary squint.
What in the world?
The chair wobbled as he attempted to straighten up.
Who's there?
Mr. Tolliver could only make out rough shapes through the glaring light. With a gruff tone, Rollo hoped to both conceal his voice and intimidate.
I'll be asking the questions here, punk. Oh, hold on. Let's just calm down. Oh, I am calm. Calm as a carrot in dirt. As for you, looks like you're sweating.
The doubtful expression on Beck and Luca's faces transformed into awe.
We can do this my way, or... well, let's just say I've never needed another way.
Rollo, hitting his stride, was now channeling every detective trope his memory could recall. He slammed the table again.
Now dance! What? I don't even...
Mr. Tolliver's voice became desperate. He was nearly in tears.
You tied me down. How on earth could I dance? Dance with your mouth, punk. Spill the beans. What are you doing poking around this house? I'm here to help Juniper. To make sure everything's ready. Oh, so you're in cahoots with Gran. Gran?
Mr. Tolliver was in a daze, now more confused than ever.
Gonna help her blow up the festival, huh? Blow up the festival? Good lord.
He shook his head, feeling more and more dizzy.
No, you've got it all wrong. Where is she now? She's headed to the source. Source? What's the source? It's where
His voice faded to a whisper.
the town began. Where it all began. What is Operation Sparkplug?
With that, Mr. Tolliver passed out cold. Rollo swung around with a repentant grimace.
Damn, Rollo. I think you went a little too hard on him. What did he say about the source? It's where the town began? We need more information. Yeah, but we better not push Mr. Tolliver any further. Is there anyone else who might know more? What about the History Museum? It just got set up for the festival. Nah, that tent was put up by the Valentines. Everything they do is just a bunch of fluff to glorify themselves. Anything more reliable? The library, you say? If there's any information about this source thing, Kato can help us find it. Let's go get some answers. I approve of this because it involves additional Kato. Look at this adorable boy. This is a dang nice library. Aren't you a little too adorable to be a librarian? Kato hung out here so much, eventually they just gave him a set of keys. Yeah, I'm a penguin! Penguins are the best animals. We love them in this corner of Twitch. They got you working for free? Moo Moo Milkmaid, hello! How's it going? Irashaimase, everybody. Thank you very much for the raid. Last playing Coffee Talk. That's a good one. I do like Coffee Talk. Yeah, hi, how's it going? I'm CPC Gamer, cozy variety type streamer. Generally, we do, like, horror games on Mondays. This one's less horror-y. Currently, it's more like creeping dread, but that's also good. We've got long-form games midweek, and casual Fridays where I do whatever I want. Occasionally Overwatch streams as well. I don't know. Thank you very much for choosing to raid. If you guys have, like, post-stream goings-on that you need to do, a lot of self-care, please do that. We understand very much. And go take care of yourself. We have... Yes, please no spoilers. I appreciate that very much. This is my first playthrough of the game. And I say first playthrough. Here's where we are currently at. And we're going down this path on the left. We've just done the good cop, bad cop routine. And we're seeing where this is taking us. So thank you very much for sticking around. Let's see what happens next, shall we? Fair enough. We need a favor. Actually, we're looking to do some research. That's the thing, we sort of don't know. What do you got in the history of the town? What's in those? Great, we'll start there.
Chapter 8. 6 feet under, 3 towns over. The kids spent the rest of the afternoon combing through dusty piles of old county records, desperately searching for anything that could help them make sense of Mr. Tolliver's cryptic utterance.
Wait. Pause. Time out. Moo Moo Milkmaid could go one of two ways. That's either Pokemon or Moo Moo Meadows, the greatest track in the world from Super Mario Kart, which is like the rule of thumb in this channel and in my house. We have to start on Moo Moo Meadows. That's the first course every single time. And do you know what? I'm down for either of those options. So, yes. And now back to the game.
Luca tried to shake the thought of Gran's basement, but his focus wavered. Explosives, messages hidden in jam, dossiers on various town figures, and a corkboard threaded with photos. Gran was the only family he had left. He still couldn't bring himself to believe the worst.
Yeah, Empirical Woodland's boring. He doesn't play. He likes Baby Park. He likes turning right. Does Empirical Woodland?
But the old map with the symbol of explosives in town square made that difficult. As the sun began to set, the kids were no closer to the truth.
If I have to read any more records, my eyeballs are going to pop. We have to keep digging. If I dig another word, I'm gonna end up in one of those asinine death records. Rollo Cotter lived a full and wonderful life till he read so much boring crud that his brain oozed out of his ears.
Rollo shut his book with an assertive nod.
If you've got a better idea, spit it out. You sound like my sister. Keep pushing your luck, pal. It won't be boring county records that kill you. I'll put you in the obituaries myself. Oh, snap!
Rollo muttered under his breath.
You're a county record. Really? That's the best you've got? When I'm done with you, you'll be the footnote in history. Just like...
Beck slammed her finger down on the open page before glancing down to read.
J. Hartford here. I'd love to see you try. Hey. We're all a little tired here. Just take a minute.
Something tickled the back of Luca's mind.
Wait, what was that name, Beck? In the obit? J. Hartford? From the Brookville Tribune 8 years ago. That can't be right. What is it? J. Hartford? That's my grand's name, Juniper Hartford. Psycho Magpie, hello. Maybe there were 2 J. Hartfords? Mrs. Hartford is survived by her young daughter, E. Hartford. My mom's name is Eleanor. Okay, this is getting creepy. If your grand is 6 feet under, 3 times... That's the chapter name! Then who am I living with?
The question hung in the air.
I was going to ask, is it The Visit by M. Night Shyamalan? And then I'm actually going to say that. Don't answer it. Hypothetical question. Is it actually that?
Beck rubbed her eyes.
How late is it? Oh crap, Pa's gonna kill me. I gotta go. Yeah, my parents will be worried sick. Okay, let's meet up as early as we can at the festival tomorrow. Yeah, I watched The Visit at like a dollar theater with a friend, and we were like, I paid $1 and I still feel ripped off. What are you gonna do about the unconscious man in your basement? I'll think of something.
Luca's heart was pounding as he approached the house. If he was lucky, Gran, or whoever it was, hadn't gotten back yet. And of course, there was Mr. Tolliver tied up and unconscious in the basement. Dealing with him would be the first order of business. Luca shook out his arms to calm his nerves before entering.
So, answer...
He held perfectly still.
Don't be doing that!
His breath and listen closely.
That's like a straight-up horror movie string sting as soon as we enter the house. That's a little creepy. To answer a previously asked question, I'm kind of leaning towards Beck being one of my favorite characters because she's pretty cool. I like tomboys a lot. Like, a lot.
She was asleep. His only hope was that she hadn't found Mr. Tolliver before dozing off.
If I had a secret conspiracy basement, literally the first thing I would do when I got home is to check the conspiracy basement. Oh no.
Mr. Tolliver was nowhere to be seen.
Well, see, that's the thing, Click. It became horror so gradually, we didn't even notice it happening. It just is now. Isn't that great? Maybe he woke up, escaped from his bindings, and left without a trace.
Or maybe Gran knew everything.
What do I do?
Luca's hungry stomach groaned. Not realizing it, he'd gone the entire day without eating.
Okay, I can figure this out. Just need a little brain food.
Luca rushed over to the pile of jam jars, unscrewed one, and shoveled a handful into his mouth.
I'm afraid your jam delivery will be delayed.
He flipped the lid to read the label.
Mr. Nuncreed? Okay, now I can think. So, if Gran knows we tied up Mr. Tolliver, I'm screwed. If she doesn't know, then I need to play it cool. Guess the only option is to go to bed and act as if nothing is wrong. Gran will think Mr. Tolliver finished what he was sent to do and left when he was done. I'm with you, Moo Moo Milkmaid. There is a now ex-colleague of mine who makes her own jam and the like. And, oh man, when she does, I will bake so many things with that jam. I've got some coming. Some whiskey marmalade and some damson gin something. Maybe that's the end of the sentence. Maybe it's just damson gin. Okay, stick to the plan. Go to bed and play it cool.
As Luca climbed the final stair, the emotion of the day dragged heavily on him. With each consecutive step, his legs weakened. His stride began to falter. He tried to grab for the railing to steady himself. Something was wrong.
Sparkmane, my mum made some... What did she make? She made some jello, but with like... She put glittery food dye in it or something like that, and it just came out as this like oleaginous green paste, and it's hilarious in retrospect. Very tasty jelly, but at the same time, it was like, it looks hideous. It looks like spoo.
Luca groaned and tried to move. His limbs might as well have been bolted to the ground. Through numb lips, he mumbled just before falling asleep.
Moo Moo Milkmaid, absolutely fine. Go take care of yourself. Do post-stream self-care. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Here and on your stream, if and when that happens. Because I dropped a follow, and maybe you guys should do it as well. Sweet boy. What did you get yourself into? We got ourselves into the jam. This is what we did. Rest now, and let me handle everything. Hang on. Let me do that. There we go. There we go. Right. Behind the scenes tinkering. We got yourself into a jam. Good shout, Sparkmane.
Chapter 9. A speech to end all speeches. Luca awoke to find himself face down in bed.
Oh, we're gonna get such a telling off.
He moaned into his pillow. Why would Gran drug him? Or rather, why was she trying to drug Mr. Nuncreed? Shaking the questions from his woozy head, Luca snapped back to the matter at hand.
A festival. All of my sub badges are me, little Mr. Penguin fella. Look at me. But like wearing progressively fancier hats. I like that Rolo has just kept his Deerstalker. That's pretty cute. Alright, Sparkmane says that. What do I have? Do I have one of those? I don't. I don't have Adelie in a Viking hat, which is something I may need to, nudge Ilana right to get on. That can be another... that can be another, sub badge. There we go. Gran put something in the jam. Yeah, we know. Secret messages for secret conspirators. Not this one. The one intended for Mr. Nuncreed? Put me to sleep. Whoa! Sly devil. I think she's trying to remove him from the equation. He might be in danger. Have you found anything? You looked around, but haven't seen anything odd. Your Gran is nowhere to be found. But Mr. Nuncreed is just loafing around waiting for the speech. What speech? Hey, Gus just got up to the podium. Everyone is gathering at the stage. Let's get moving. Show and Tell did get redeemed. I'm gonna try and wait for
Valentine nervously wiped his brow.
I'm gonna try and wait for like a good stop point. Then we're gonna go check Show and Tell. Especially if we got some new people in. That's a thing that I do, and I like to do it. And, man, what could it be? Those guys on the right, are they Curly Brace's little friends, like, from Cave Story? Like these guys? They look like the little fellas that Curly was looking after. Is this the... hello, Beacon Pines. I'm Augustus Valentine, your mayor, and I suppose you already know that. Oh yes, before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to recognize someone who couldn't be here today. This town wouldn't be where it is without my father, Sharper Valentine. So I thought we could begin with a round of applause befitting such a great man. That was a pretty good round of applause. Even that's more than the old codger deserved.
Gus cleared his throat and awkwardly loosened his tie.
Right, where was I?
William Kerr bounded on the stage with the energy of a preacher at a big tent revival.
Gus Valentine,
He
everyone.
gave Gus a hearty slap on the back and motioned him off the stage.
Let's hear it for our mayor. I'm gonna let you guys in on a secret. Unenthusiastic clapping is basically always funny to me. That's great. What a great turnout. Ah, heck, I didn't prepare anything. But I suppose I could say a few words. Would be a shame to waste such a beautiful podium.
Mr. Kerr pulled a thick stack of note cards out from his vest.
Community, conviction, commitment. These are things we celebrate at Perennial Harvest. For us, these are the pillars of a bridge to a better tomorrow. But I think it's time to add a new pillar. Change. Change is a powerful thing. It is inexorable, unavoidable, and undeniable. And I am dadgum thankful for it. Change is the reason we're all together today. It's hard for me to believe that it was only 4 years ago when fate brought me here. A simple business trip which brought me to a small town which would change my life forever.
Mr. Kerr took a moment to survey the crowd.
You know what?
He wiped away a single tear.
From the second I set foot in Beacon Pines, something about this place has held me captive. That tin whistle is the perfect addition. Gotcha. Have a good day. Thank you for checking in. Hopefully see you soon as well. You see, change represents opportunity. It represents potential. It was change that helped me recognize the potential of this place. To see that the people of this town, despite suffering great loss, still held on to the things that made them special.
He thumped the podium to emphasize each word.
Community, conviction, commitment. Is he using little talismans like I am? And they are his words? Change.
Mr. Kerr nodded confidently, biting his lip. The crowd was silent, in rapt attention.
Fate made a perfect match that day. Nothing is more important to you all than community. 6 seasons in a movie, and Perennial Harvest is a community first and foremost.
Mr. Kerr methodically made eye contact with each section of the crowd.
The only way you made it through the foul harvest was an unshakable conviction. A conviction that a better tomorrow was just over the horizon. Perennial Harvest was founded on the conviction that we are that horizon. This festival is a symbol of our commitment to each other.
His voice began to build to a crescendo.
We now walk hand in hand into a future we will shape together. And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? Just imagine what we can accomplish. What was that?
The crowd began to look around nervously.
Don't worry, a little thunder isn't going to ruin this day. Everyone, remain calm.
Mr. Kerr quickly flicked through his note cards.
Where was I? Through all of my travels, I have learned one true thing. One always reaps what they sow. We have all planted a lot of good in this town. And so, it is with a happy heart that I can proclaim...
He raised his hands up to the heavens.
Our harvest is this a cult?
At that moment, a merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end. On a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention for the rest of time. The end.
Well, that seems like a good point to do two things. First of all, Show and Tell has been redeemed, so we're going to take a look at Show and Tell. But before we do that, Mr. Kerr mentioned change, which leads me to... You get a twofer today. We're going to have two bad jokes. So... No, you didn't miss Show and Tell me. Don't worry about it. So... A Buddhist walks into Subway and says, "Make me one with everything." There you go. And then you get to the end, and the guy says, "That'll be $6. And the Buddhist gives him a note and says, "Can I have my change?" And the cashier says, "Sir, change comes from within." Let's do Show and Tell. Today's Show and Tell, I'm just going to cut away from that because chat is exploding with hilarious reactions right now. They thought those jokes were great. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We'll edit that in later. Today's Show and Tell is... a fossil! Look at that. So... I posted this in my Discord, so some of you have seen it. But here's the story. My sister recently got a new job. I've mentioned this. Her office is essentially adjacent to the room that I'm currently sitting in. We're thinking of putting in a serving hatch so I can just hand her my baking. Anyway, she's going through all of these old offices and picking out, like, hey, here's a bunch of junk in this room that we don't need. What can we do with it? And I happened to go over to bring over a batch of cookies or muffins or whatever it was. And she's like, "Do you want to have a poke through some of these rooms and see what you can find?" And sure enough, there's the sort of thing you would expect to find in a decades-old office. There's like tiny little LED monitors and massive CRT monitors and a surprising number of like Samsung flip phones. I don't know. But at the back of one room, I found this guy, a Sinclair ZX Spectrum 2. In box, with a joystick, in box, and a tape box with games. I have reviewed one of the games in that box on my channel, and I'm going to play it again when I get my CPC game stream going. Anyway, it is just wild to me that this was just hanging out in a room. And I took a picture of it going, "I've got to show this to Empirical Woodland, he'll want it." And basically he said, "Hey, I want that." Because do I know my friends or what? And now I'm showing it off in Show and Tell. And that is the story of how I found a Spectrum. Just lying around. That's it for Show and Tell. I think enough time has passed that people have forgotten that I set up chat as reacting really, really well to my solid jokes. So, here we are, back at the game. The end.
There's that ice again! Whenever I think we're getting close, it comes along and ruins everything! Maybe we should just quit? Maybe you should just close the book, walk away, and never think of me again.
I did pick up another fishing game today, so you might be onto something.
No, I don't mean that.
Me neither. Narrator, I would never.
We got a little closer this time. We just need to try again. Please.
So here's something interesting. What was the decision here? No. Oh, good cop, sly cop interrogation. That's what that would be. Okay. Well, let's be a sly
Maybe
cop
the
then.
Classic good cop, sly cop interrogation.
Sly cop, burglar at large.
Luca and Rollo ducked behind a barrel, leaving Beck to her task.
Whatever the hell that game was. I watched Rope play through, like, Sly Cooper 1 and 2, I believe. And I don't remember what the subtitle was.
With a few crisp snaps, she roused Mr. Tolliver.
What? What's going on here? You're that Modal girl. Please, call me Beck. Sorry about all this.
Mr. Tolliver looked down and shifted a bit, testing his restraints.
Seems there's been a mix-up. You see, I'm down here for the same reason you are. Juniper's sent you here?
Beck caught herself before letting the surprise manifest on her face. She'd already gotten him to reveal his relation to Gran. This was gonna be easy.
You know how Juniper is with her precautions. Operation Sparkplug has us all on edge. I guess she thought you needed some backup. But she sent a child? What better way to avoid prying eyes? Who would suspect a kid? I suppose that makes sense.
Mr. Tolliver wriggled a bit in his restraints.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Beck quickly removed the ropes.
That had to be uncomfortable. A little, yeah. But you understand. We never knew who to trust in this town.
Mr. Tolliver rubbed the growing knot on his forehead.
Very true. So it turns out we're both
Beck
here
twirled
to
her hand, as if to prompt Mr. Tolliver to finish her thought.
destroy the evidence.
Beck shook her head and clicked her tongue.
Yep, the old gal is nothing if not thorough.
Mr. Tolliver let out an amused huff in agreement.
He sure is. Can't blame her though. If anyone were to find out that we're going to destroy the source, well, we both know how bad that would be. No one will know anything once I finish cleaning things up down here.
Beck was on a roll now, playing Mr. Tolliver like a fiddle.
Like a fiddle! You sure you can finish this up on your own? Juniper trusted me for a reason. You can leave the rest to me. Good. There is one more loose end I'll go work on. Loose end? Oh, it's nothing, really. The other day, I had the radio on scan while restocking the candy shelf. Wouldn't you know it, intercepted an odd phrase in a perennial harvest transmission. Underground secrets. That's ominous. I think it might be a password, but Juniper dismissed it. She said it wasn't mission critical. What's the password for? We don't know. So we have a password and no way to put it? It's gotta mean something, right? Good thinking. You should probably go work that out. I've got this under control. That's a relief. Between you and me, Spaceman gives me the willies.
Heading for the stairs, Mr. Tolliver hesitated and turned to Beck with a puzzled look. She grinned and gave him a peppy wave. With a shrug, he continued up the stairs, whistling a jaunty tune.
You guys catch that? Sure did. This whole time, Mr. Tolliver's had a candy shelf, but all he ever sells us is apples.
Beck blinked slowly in disappointment.
The password, Rollo. Well, sure, but once things are back to normal, I'll be having a word with Mr. Tolliver about that candy shelf. Fine. In the meantime, I've got an idea.
She turned to the table and began tearing small scraps of paper.
He said he heard a password on the radio. Any good spy transmission is never what it seems.
Beck marked each scrap of paper and leaned back.
We just need to find the hidden meaning. Okay. What's another word for underground? Buried, covered. Could it be a cover-up? Maybe it's one of those each letter is a number thingies. So U would be 21, N would be 14, E would be... Oh, it's an anagram. Nuncreed's drugstore.
Luca and Beck looked at Rollo with amazement.
Oh, that was incredible. Well, it's either that or Kren's nude rug store. Yeah, I think you were right the first time. How'd you do that? What can I say? I love ciphers. Well, I guess we know where to go next. Reading classes. Be honest with you, I am also really, really good with anagrams. Like, generally speaking, the pub quiz that my family and friends go to, there is a... Don't mind me, ma'am.
For a town that saw a few visitors, the welcome was perhaps more grand than necessary.
Oh, I was hoping for, like, a grand talisman right there or something. Yeah, the pub quiz we do, there's, like, usually an anagram round, and then I'm the one who solves it incredibly quickly. And then my family just sort of look at me. Really? How did you do that? You're late, Augustus. Sorry, sister. Was caught up with work. Work? You? I had a few more details to lock down for the festival. Huh. What do you have to report? What is this insipid town festival really about? I think
Gus looked around nervously.
Mr. Kerr really does just want to do something good for the town. He's actually a pretty nice guy. You should spend some time with him. I didn't pull strings installing mayor so that you could make friends. Your job is to help me figure out what Kerr and Perennial Harvest's true intentions are with this town. We have a responsibility. This is our father's town. Was. Excuse me? This was our father's town. He's gone, Harris, and he isn't coming back. Father left us with nothing but problems. Mr. Kerr came here and offered to help us. We accepted that help. We didn't agree to them turning Father's warehouse into a toxic dumping ground. That is just a temporary arrangement. The glow can be seen from our damn backyard. They are dumping their nasty little secrets on us. When this all inevitably goes wrong, who do you think will be blamed?
Eris's cry hung in the air.
We have a new choice to make now, sister. This town is going to change whether we like it or not. Are we going to choose to be a part of that future? Or be forgotten in the past? It's a shame. Father named you Augustus, but you'll always be just a Gus. Good night, Eris. I'll see you at breakfast tomorrow. Her name is Eris. Like, get ready to set your kid up for failure. My sister is named Better Than You. Like, come on. It's getting late, children. Yeah, but cool, we're on an adventure. Let's go. What do you got for me, B? Knowledge, he spat with a sneer. There exists a gulf between knowing something and being able to do a damn thing about it. I do hate it when the villain makes a good point. I don't. Villains being right is my jam. My napalm-laced, secret message hiding jam.
Solomon stood proudly at the entrance to the drugstore, holding a brown bag overflowing with black licorice.
Hey, Solomon. We're looking for Mr. Nuncreed. Is he still in there? I'm afraid not. Then where'd you get the candy from? You might say we have an arrangement.
Solomon shoveled a surprising amount of licorice into his mouth.
Sometimes it's the small pleasures in life. Though we might not always have family to rely on, licorice has never let me down. Oh, I can't say licorice should be my first choice. Honestly, licorice isn't my first choice, but I do love licorice. Like, give me a bag of licorice all sorts, please. I love them. But whatever floats your boat. You can tell a lot about a person by their choice of confection. Oh, yeah, I guess. I like sour gobs. I'm certain you do. I always wonder why Mr. Nuncree kept licorice in stock. You must eat enough of it to make it worthwhile. There's many ways to earn loyalty. For some, it's just as easy as cold hard cash. Well, he's right. It's locked. There's gotta be more clues. Alright, chat. You go into the candy store. You can only have one thing. What are you getting? Me? It's probably gonna be jelly beans. Like, the multi-flavored jelly beans. Or a single flavor if it's something good like licorice or cinnamon. What is your poison? What are you having from the store? The candy store? Like some manner of novelty rap song. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Perica Woodland's all about rhubarbs and I don't know if I like rhubarb and custard. There's just not a nice taste. Although I do like, if we're going for that family, that genus of candy, I'm all about, like, sherbet lemons. Have you ever seen anyone actually use this thing? Besides Mr. Nuncree? No.
Beck cupped her hands on the glass to peek inside.
This is not a normal phone booth. It's got like a blinky keypad? Why would there be a blinky keypad? Krent's Nude Rug Store! I mean, underground secrets? The password!
Beck flung open the door and they all squeezed in.
Is this actually teleportation like when I joked about it being a Bill and Ted machine? Well, alright, let's see here.
Luca cracked his knuckles and entered the letters into the keypad.
Underground secrets. Sounds like that did something. Great. Now what? Guess we...
The inside of the phone booth dropped loose from its shell. Without even the space to panic, they closed their eyes, held their breath, and accepted their fate. Suddenly, the chaotic descent slowed to an effortless landing. It was unclear where they ended up, but at least it was solid ground. The air was stagnant and smelled vaguely of chlorine.
Okay. I knew it. You knew there was a secret hub full of strange tubes under the phone booth? Of course I did. Didn't I say that? No. I definitely thought it. Luca, do you remember when I said how cool it would be if the trans-dimensional conduits from Hank Atomic issue 12 were real? Rollo, at one point or another, you said about every technology ever discussed in Hank Atomic. That's why I'm such a good predictor. Looks like each of these has something written on them. Live, laugh, love. We have got to get out of here. You guys can stay down here. I'm taking the secret tube upwards. Fine, let's go check out the stupid life-affirming tubes. Mining Operations Alpha. You guys have mines here? Not that I know of. This town is all farms and fertilizer. And a series of tubes. Pa always says, you can only trust a miner up to the point when they hit gold. Not sure how that wisdom applies in this exact situation. That's the thing about Pa. You don't always realize what he means until it's too late. Perennial Harvest main office. That's where my mom works. What does she do? Science stuff? Is she involved in all of this? We just moved here. How could she be involved? True. Valentine Fertilizer Warehouse. Isn't that where you almost got snatched? Yeah. Why would Perennial Harvest have a tube going to the old Valentine place? This is starting to feel like something big. This suit has a broken mask. So, have we found our mystery warehouse creeper? We've at least found the hazmat suit. It walks like a Nuncreed and talks like a Nuncreed. Let's not jump to conclusions. Just saying. That's a lot of buttons. Stand aside, Earthlings. I've read enough Hank Atomic to know my way around sci-fi tech.
Rollo's hands hovered over the field of blinking buttons.
Eeny, meeny, miny. Rollo, what did you do? Nothing! I didn't even mow yet. What was that? Hide! Where? There's nothing but weird tubes down here. Just get back. Hi! Awesome! You all need to come with me now. We aren't going anywhere with you. Not until we get some answers. We are in the internet, a series of tubes. Mr. Underground Secrets. I told them it was an absurd password. But they love anything that makes them feel clever. They who? That's no matter. If I can keep you hidden until after the festival, I might be able to save your skins. We don't care about our skins. Hold on now. I like my skin. This all stops now, Nuncreed.
Joseph waited for a moment in silence.
You sound just like him. Who? Walt. You ain't got to talk about my dad. You know, your father and I were friends back before.
He gestured toward the strange tubes.
All of this? That's a lie. It's true. I used to bounce you on my knee. What happened? Same thing that always happens. Reality, complications, life. We were a team, Walt and I. An idealistic doctor and a bright-eyed pharmacist. Both hell-bent on helping folks. So, you were his sidekick? No. We were partners. He helped the patients and I helped him. Yup, total sidekick.
Nuncreed let out a growl of a sigh.
Luca, I need you to know this. I need someone to know this. One day, Sharp Valentine comes to us. Says he's got an opportunity. He's found something he didn't quite understand. And he was willing to pay us both handsomely to help him understand it. And my dad said no. Your father and I both believe in helping people. But the thing I could never get him to understand was it's a lot easier to help others if you help yourself now and then. Classic sidekick into villain plotline. Walt loved being righteous, almost more than he loved his family. He was wrong about one thing, though. When he begged me not to take Valentine's offer, he said, "Joseph, if a person says yes one time to shop a Valentine, he'll make sure they keep on saying yes until the day he's dead and gone."
He shook his head wistfully.
Shop was long gone, but he still got me saying yes. Is there a point to this sub-story? Not really, no. Literally, it's a Shaggy Dog story. Yes! It's an old man trying to delay what needs doing.
Nuncreed took a menacing step towards the children.
I tried to keep you safe. I tried to keep you and Juniper out of this. But you forced my hand.
Luca began to laugh.
What? You really don't know? My gran isn't out of this. She's been scheming right under your nose. Juniper? Seems like she's planning on crashing the town's party. She's going to disrupt the festival? Why would she?
The color drained from Nuncreed's face.
How does she know? Apparently she knows a lot of things. What? Let's just say this isn't the only underground layer we've busted into today. And honestly, hers is way cooler. She's got maps and explosives and bad intentions, big man.
Nuncreed grabbed Luca by the shoulders. His eyes were frantic.
You need to tell me what she's going to do right now. She doesn't understand what it is she's messing with. Tell me now. She's in danger, boy. I don't know. She had a map with a mark on the fountain in the town square? The fountain? But why
A
would...
jolt of realization struck Mr. Nuncreed.
She knows about the source? What the heck is the source? She tries to destroy the source, it could catalyze it. Hey God, she's going to freeze us all! You all need to run. Run where? Away. As far away from this town as you can get. Head west and don't look back. That was a pretty spiffy exit. I'd like that. That did not go how I expected. So... we're totally following him, right? Totally. See you on the other side. You good? Yep. I love this town.
Chapter 8. The Cold, Hard Truth. Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark. Dimness eclipsed around her like the shutter of a camera, as she seemed to cover great distance in mere moments. Her only points of reference were glints of upcoming turns, which approached with frightening speed, only to carom her gracefully along. She heard the tinny, distant echoes of Rollo's glee. Once she stopped fighting against it, the ride was impossibly smooth. Then, all of a sudden, as if minutes had passed in an instant, light blazed into view.
All of a sudden... I will pull up Grammar.
A burst of wintry air snapped across
It's
her
important.
face, and she was flung out into the cold.
I got like 2 teachers in my family. I can't help it. That was intense. Yeah. I think I might have potted with some fluids in there. Any idea where we are? Somewhere cold. Rollo, please! It didn't feel like we traveled that far. This place sucks. Why would anyone even want to blow something up out here? Only one way to find out, I suppose. We've got to catch up to Nuncreed. I think he went this way. Looks like we aren't getting back that way. Man, these exits are just painted on. So if this is what I think it is, that was Gran's house. And that won't have an exit because that's the tree and that's Dad's grave. Oh no. This looks familiar, yeah. Maybe we can clear off the snow. No time. Nunkree's getting away. Yeah, because there's the bridge with the cool leaning post. Okay, this is starting to feel really familiar. I may not be the most well-versed person on all things Beacon Pines, but this does look like some sort of frozen replica of town. Ah, I got it. It's so obvious now. Mr. Nuncreed is an alien. Hello? Stick with me here. His species can only live in sub-zero temperatures. Boy, here we go. The source is their base camp dimension, so naturally, they keep it cold. We found it by traveling through these metallic wormholes back there. Final objective, kill us all and shapeshift into a Beacon Pines citizen of their choosing. You never really had me, but you very much lost me there. You get used to it. We should keep moving.
They rounded the corner to the frozen town square. They spotted Mr. Nuncreed inching cautiously toward a pit at its center. He held his arms out gingerly, as if approaching a beast in the wild. Upon closing the distance, Luca recognized what Nuncreed was after. Gran stood confidently at the edge, one arm outstretched over the abyss. Nearby, a wheelbarrow had been emptied out. She held a lit torch, which flickered in the bitter wind.
Juniper, I don't know what you think you're doing, but I assure you this is not going to solve anything. If you drop that, you've doomed this whole town. Oh, it wasn't me who doomed this town. I've been watching you, Joseph. I know what you've done. You and your co-conspirators. Gran? What's happening? Luca, you and your friends need to leave right this moment.
Mr. Nuncreed turned back toward the kids, desperation in his eyes.
Listen to your grandma, Luca. This is between me and Juniper.
Rollowenbach held steadfast in awe.
Aww.
Luca approached closer. Mr. Nuncreed spun back toward Gran, his voice growing louder.
I'm working with what I've got with this game, alright? And for the most part, it's just quick-fire word association like that. And I'm not even sorry. You've got it all wrong, Juniper. Just hand over that torch. You don't understand what you're doing. How could I possibly trust you to do the right thing? Walt told me everything. He trusted you, and you betrayed that trust. Luca, did you know that this man's entire life is a lie? If it weren't for him, your father might still be alive.
Mr. Nuncreed winced with anguish. His voice hardened.
That's not true.
They both now yelled, not to each other, but at fate itself, making their peace with long-held burdens. The wind howled with encouragement.
Walt was like a brother to me. He just had different ideas about how to affect change. Very convenient that your way just happened to line your pockets. Now that's not fair.
They menaced at each other, both catching their breath. The moment balanced on a knife's edge. Amid a blur of emotions and memories, Luca's mind flooded with questions. The wind calmed, as if to give him the stage.
Oh.
And in the stillness, he began to weep.
That means we need to come back to this one.
It was all just too much. Falling to his knees, Luca whimpered softly. The tears crystallized as they hit the snow.
Thank you,
Bran
Sparkmane,
stared at Luca for a
for
moment,
keeping my
ignoring
running
sympathy,
gag going. I
wondering
appreciate that.
why this was all necessary.
This will all make sense soon, Luca. And everything can go back to normal. I promise.
She stiffened up and brandished the torch at Mr. Nuncreed.
You can't hide behind those people any longer, Joseph. Once their precious source is destroyed, we'll see where their loyalties fall. Juniper, don't.
Ignoring his final plea, Gran flung the torch into the deep darkness. She smiled and exhaled in relief. Mr. Nuncreed moaned in resignation. The torch echoed as it ricocheted down the hole, punctuated with a thunderous thud.
You see, Joseph, I've learned one very important lesson in life. If you want things to change, then you must be willing
Before
to...
Gran could finish, the ground shook her to silence. Gran only had time to spin around and run to Luca. Her attempt to shield him, an honorable but trifling act. Unflinching love, pitted against an unthinking horror. There was no contest. Her warm embrace froze in an instant. That is where they remain, fixed in place, forever. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a town brought low by its secrets, sits the frozen statues of a misguided band of meddlers. The end. Well, that was dire. On the bright side, we finally figured out where all the ice is coming from. Now, we just need to find a way to deal with a mystic, unfathomable force of nature.
Oh, maybe that is the end. Okay, yes. Oh. Okay. That's the end of that branch. I don't think we can necessarily come back there, because down here, all of these tokens are ticked off. Which means that, like, yep, that's what that looks like. Well, let's start down here, because then we can always get more words and branch upwards rather than having to, like, come all the way back down to the start of the story. And I think we'll get another chapter in before we finish up tonight. Let's see how we do, shall we? Iggy took a step towards Luca, his sneer lit by the glowing puddle. Beck could see tears welling in Luca's eyes, his fists clenched. Some things about Beacon Pines were very different from the city, but a bully from a hayseed town is really no different from a city bully. Beck took a deep breath and thought, well, time to bust out the...
Well, time to bust out the tickles.
Hey Tish, wanna see something cool? Yup. Check it.
Beck lunged forward and began to tickle under Tish's arms.
What the... Tish, is she tickling you? Yup. Yup. Yup.
Tears began to form in Tish's eyes as she gasped for breath between gales of laughter. Beck redoubled her efforts until Tish finally had had enough.
What just happened? She seems nice. Sorry for the interruption. I think you were just threatening us.
Iggy's eyes darted around, a realization dawning on his face that he was now outnumbered.
I just remembered. I have somewhere else to be. See you around, new kid.
Iggy kicked at the puddle before making his escape.
Whoa. A little creep. Beck, I think you got a little ooze in your hair?
Beck shook the ooze out of her hair as best as she could.
Is it bad? It depends. What are your feelings about having a more mature, refined look? Oh god.
Chapter 4. The Best Policy. Luca paused for a moment, catching his breath. He'd only just met Beck, and somehow he already managed to drag her into this mess. Hopefully he could make it up to her. But finding Rollo was his primary concern.
Playing in the sludge is my primary concern, but the game won't let me. Luca, what the hell are you doing out here? Why did a kid with grey hair just run past us in a panic?
Roxy and Fitz looked drained. It was clear they'd spent all day searching.
That's Beck. I don't care who she is. What happened? Were you just helping look for Rollo? Luca, I need you to start telling me the truth.
Roxy's temper could often be dismissed as the impatience of an older sibling, but this was the most intense Luca had ever seen her. Her eyes were wild and unfocused, looking straight through Luca.
We're running out of time.
In a torrent of rambled words and tears, Luca broke down.
Rollo and I weren't just playing in Weep Whoop yesterday. We were investigating lights at the old Valentine warehouse. Someone was in there in a strange suit, and we hid in the dumpster and had a heavy bag dropped on us, and I think it was a body. And so we ran, but we got split up, and I ran home, and it was not my fault. And now my best friend may never come back. Wow. Just... wow.
Roxy, still exhausted and angry, softened briefly as her eyes hunted the ground in thought. With a determined sigh, she looked up at Luca.
It's not your fault, Luca. Rollo's gonna be okay, I promise.
Roxy drew herself up.
I'm gonna fix this. Luca, go home. I wanna help. This is too dangerous for a kid. I can't just sit around. I have to do something.
Roxy tried to think of the safest place to send Luca.
You go back to the little tree house you two like to play in. Wait there in case Rollo shows up. Sound like a plan?
Luca wiped his cheeks and gave a quick nod.
You did the right thing telling me the truth. Now scoot. You really believe his story? What other option do we have? Things have been strange around here, leading up to the festival. My dad has been acting weird lately. Well, weirder than normal.
Looking into the puddle, Roxy rubbed her arms to warm up.
Well, Sparkmane. You say that. We have this ending right here. This has resulted in a bad ending. Essentially overrun with zombies. So we do have an option to continue through it. And I'm not going to do that right now, because then I would lose track of what I was doing. Just... You're thinking smart. So this is all the way back, because we've been on chapter, like, what, 6 through 9 today, and this is 4? Okay, you gonna talk to me, dog? Dog friend doesn't want to talk to me.
Mr. Nuncree jumped with a start.
Don't sneak up on an old fella like that. Sorry. Who were you talking to? What?
Luca motioned to the phone booth.
Oh, no. I was just checking because I thought I heard it ring. Anything never does, of course. Yeah, I've never seen anyone use it, really. Whole thing's a waste of money, if you ask me. Any word from Rollo yet? Not yet. Long time for a boy to lose his way. Rollo knows those woods too well to get lost. Suppose you're right. Silly boy's antics if his whole town worried sick. Antics? We all know Rolo likes to play his little pranks. You think it's a prank? Well, what possible explanation could there be? He's not playing a prank and he didn't get lost. Someone took him. I know it. How would you know that? Unless... Luca, is there something else that you know?
Mr. Nuncreed gently placed one of his substantial hands on Luca's shoulder.
Hang it, boy, if there's something you know, something that could help your friend, you need to tell folks.
Luca peered up at Mr. Nuncreed. Kind eyes warmed a stern face. There was a deeper emotion hiding beneath it all. It was subtle, but Luca could sense something eating away at him. There was a shame lurking behind those eyes. A deep sadness. If Mr. Nuncreed was that worried about Rolo, maybe he could help.
Sparkmania, you gotta go. Enjoy work as best you can. I'll catch up later. Yesterday, Rolo and I were messing around at the old Valentine warehouse.
Mr. Nuncreed raised an eyebrow.
Both of you? You were with Rolo when he went missing? Not exactly. I was hiding in the dumpster. The dumpster? What were you doing in there? At first we were just looking around, and then someone in a strange yellow suit came and done something on us. We both got scared and ran. That was the last I saw of him. You got scared by some garbage? Well, that's why you don't go skulking in someone's dumpster. But he wasn't garbage. I think it was a body. I'm sure it was just some trash. No, there was a name tag. It said Deep Engineering?
Mr. Nuncreed's shoulders slumped.
I wish you wouldn't have said that.
A deep sigh bellowed from his chest.
Why did you have to? I tried, Luca. God knows I tried to keep you safe.
Luca attempted to take a step back, but Nuncreed's hand clamped down on his shoulder.
But you Van Horns just can't help yourselves, can you? We were all so close to being done with this.
With a firm shove, Nuncreed manhandled Luca into the phone booth.
What are you doing? It's out of my hands now.
The door latched shut with a mechanical hiss.
Oh, did we just immediate bad end?
As Luca pounded the glass, the floor dropped from under his feet. The inside of the phone booth was now a loose capsule plummeting at gravity's whim. Luca winced and pressed his hands to the walls. As he braced for impact, the capsule hurried to a surprisingly smooth stop. He felt a cold rush of air and opened his eyes with hesitance. Two large figures in hazmat suits occluded his view. Luca heard the deep, resigned voice of Mr. Nuncreed over an intercom. He knows too much. The end. Wait. No. This isn't the end. I know there's still much more. Somehow this went wrong. Okay, let's try something else.
Yeah, just immediate bad end. Okay, well... Luca's mind raced. He was caught in a trap. What do you do when there's no hope? Iggy wiped his cheeks with a sleeve. What are you gonna do, Luca? Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left.
Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left. Flight. He squinted down the barrel of the mission control defense cannon, aiming it through an opening in the dense tree branches. He looked up with surprise as it struck true and taut.
Wow, I can't believe that worked. Hey, Mr. Kerr. We'd love to hear your thoughts, but I'm afraid we have places to be. Come on, Iggy. See ya, jerks. Fine. We know where that leads them. This way. We'll take the tunnels.
Luca and Iggy winced as they sprinted through the thicket. The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage. After what felt like a marathon, Luca stopped in his tracks as they reached the clearing. What the? That was all he was able to say before Iggy slammed into his back. The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice. In fact, it was ice. Chapter 5. Signs. They stood silently, catching their breath. The sky was like sapphire. With each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luca's lungs. Let's keep moving. Luca pulled Iggy to his feet as they gazed across a snowy terrain.
Hey, now this appears to be where What's-a-Face was when we raided into them after the last stream. So we have caught up. Good shout. That was pretty badass, actually. Uh-huh. I think we lost them. Are we up in the mountains? I don't think so. If anything, we went downhill. Then what's up with the Winter Wonderland? All I know is there's no going back the way we came. Let's see if we can get our bearings. Follow me.
A disc of smooth metal was lightly covered in snow. Two faint seams were visible along the surface.
Manhole cover? If it is, I've never seen one like it. Luca, you there?
Luca had almost forgotten the walkie-talkie he was carrying.
I know I had. Is that bozo Kerr? I hope nothing bad has happened to you out in those woods.
Luca looked at Iggy with hesitation.
No need to be rude.
With a resigned sigh, Luca responded.
Seems like the only dangerous thing in the woods is you. He speaks, the young man of the hour. Now, how in tarnation did you end up with one of our radios? Just lucky, I guess. Boy, howdy, you Van Horns are full of surprises, aren't you? You knew my parents? I never had the honor of meeting your father, but your mom sure was a handful.
Luca winced, shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket.
We gotta keep moving. Ooh, I wonder if he can recognize the sign now that we don't have to run past it. What's the readout? It's sitting just above 258 Kelvin. Bear with me a second, chat. I'm just gonna Google something real quick. Okay, so that is 4 Fahrenheit or minus 15 degrees Celsius. Damn! That's down a bit from last time. Should we report this to Mr. Kerr? Still within safe ranges. Maybe spreading, but it's under control for now. A small nudge in the equilibrium could cause a cascade. Dude, relax. Just a few more sights to hit before we can punch out. Let's get this over with. What's all this? What to say with all this snow? I think it's a town sign. Can almost make out letters under there. What town could this even be? Couldn't be another town this deep into Weep Wood. Looking at evidence to the contrary. Let's figure out what we're dealing with here. Step 1. Snow's gotta go. Let's see what I can do. In situations such as these, I find it best to chuck stuff first. And ask questions second. Can I throw you? No. I knew it!
The boys stared in disbelief at the sign that now clearly read, "Welcome to Beacon Pines."
That doesn't make any sense. We're in Beacon Pines? How's that possible? We ran away from town. How do we get back here? I guess we got turned around. Where did all this snow come from? Well, it's been colder than normal lately. There's a pretty big difference between sweater weather and this Arctic hellscape. The puddle we fought at before. It was cold too. Maybe all of it leads to one source. You think it's related? What the hell is going on? We're gonna get you some answers. Let's keep moving. Oh. Yeah. Oh, the devs thought of that. We can't throw snowballs at Iggy. Does stuff look familiar to you? Looks like the barrel near the puddle I, shoved me into. Yeah. It's all frozen.
Looking down at the frozen stream, Luca could faintly see a school of minnows encased in the ice.
Whatever happened here, it happened fast. Fish didn't even have time to run. Or, yeah, swim, run.
The crunching of footsteps trailing Luca went hush. He looked back to see Iggy's face twisted with confusion.
Everyone's gone. What? There's nothing here but more snow. There must be an explanation for all this. We just have to keep looking. You can look all you want. I quit. Iggy, we have to keep going. You don't get it, do you? This isn't one of your pathetic Hank Atomic stories. We aren't gonna save the day. We aren't even gonna save ourselves. My face is mangled. This town is destroyed. Everyone we've ever known is gone. We don't know that. You can't just quit. Do whatever you want. Done. Iggy, it's gonna be okay.
Luca peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry. Seeing Iggy in such a pathetic state gave Luca a sense of compassion, and more than a little guilt.
It is getting pretty late, I think. Probably not a great idea to stumble around in the dark anyway.
Luca allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy.
Let's just rest for a bit.
The boys huddled together for warmth and comfort. If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense of the events of the day. As it was, all they had energy for was to sit in silence, numb.
The way the snow covered everything over. It's kind of calming. Yeah. I haven't had time to say it, but thanks. Huh? For getting us away from those creeps. I sort of froze up back there. Iggy, I should be the one apologizing. This all happened because I lost my temper. Nah, it's bull hockey. First of all, you didn't know what that gunk would do. You didn't, right? Of course not. Second, stop with this baloney about losing your temper. I did lose my temper.
Iggy motioned sarcastically to his half-deformed face.
Obviously. But that's exactly what you should have done. Huh? I was being a horse's ass. It was supposed to be a horse's ass in response. That's how it works. Iggy, I'm having a hard time following. You wanted me to fight you? Of course. Jeez, you goody-goody types take forever to understand this very basic point. Why'd you go around saying cruel things to get into fights?
Iggy shrugged.
Something to do. You're an asshole because you're bored? Sometimes I just feel empty. You wouldn't understand. You and Rolo are always having a blast together. Laughing, calling that dinky little treehouse mission control.
Iggy now wept openly.
Perfect little Luca Van Horn. His perfect little life. My life is not perfect. Everybody in town likes you. everybody. Oh, that new girl hasn't even unpacked yet. Even she already likes you. You have Tish.
He wiped his nose with his sleeve.
I love Tish. Tish is great. She ain't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist, you know? Say yup. Say yup. Say it. That better be the next line out of your mouth, Luca.
Luca gave a warm chuckle. Iggy cleared his throat as he wiped his eyes.
No sense of comedic timing, this boy. Must be raining out here. Definitely.
Iggy arched into a wide yawn.
Should probably try to get some sleep. Yeah. Let's lay low for now. Tomorrow, we'll get to the bottom of all this.
Luca's eyelids began to slowly drift shut.
Luca? Yeah? I always did want to see the inside of your dinky little treehouse. What do you think? Not bad. Give you the full tour when we get back. You know what?
That's all Luca could whisper before succumbing to sleep. Iggy snuggled in some more.
When it comes to the worst days of my entire life, this one wasn't half bad.
The house smelled of warm bread.
It's bread!
Luca was playing with toy blocks on the living room rug. He looked up to see his parents on the couch. His mother held his father's head in her lap. She idly stroked his hair while humming a song.
This could go either way in dream logic.
A voice behind Luca spoke. This is how you remember them, huh? Luca turned to see his own face. The doppelganger from his dreams, still clad in a yellow hazmat suit, still carrying a look of disdain behind empty eyes. Aww, look at this perfectly cozy scene. You know it wasn't really like this. The figure picked up a toy block and inspected it. It's amazing the facades that one can build given the right materials. Not that I blame us. These are a child's memories, all warm and fuzzy. You don't remember, do you? Lucas snatched the block from the figure's yellow-gloved hand. Remember what? The doppelganger pointed to the couch. The last day we saw him alive. The day he chose to abandon us.
We and us is an interesting choice of words.
Luca turned to look at his father, still lounging on the couch. That's not true. He didn't abandon us. The doppelganger waved his hand dismissively. Everything is true here. It's just a matter of what we choose to see. Well, let me show you. The world flickered and pulsed. Luca was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes. The doppelganger limped into the room. Now, we both know that's not how this went. He grabbed Luca's hand and guided the stethoscope to the floor. Luca heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope. It was his parents, fighting. Do you remember what we did next? Luca gave a slow nod and crept down the hall to peek through the banister. He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this. She was scared. His father stepped forward. What am I supposed to do? Just watch? There's a sickness in this town, and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help people. I won't turn my back on them. Luca's mother grabbed Walt. She was crying, pleading. I can't lose you. Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. I could never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this. Eleanor raised her voice. Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about our son? Luca flinched, dropping the stethoscope down the stairs. Walt turned with a panicked smile. Luca, is that you, buddy? With tears in his eyes, Luca descended the stairs. Mom? Dad? What's going on? Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luca eye to eye.
Empirical Woodland? I have not. I have seen many a coronation thing with work and all. No dishes. I'm guessing that's gonna be one of those alerts on Discord. Give me a second.
Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all. Luca placed the stethoscope against his father's chest. His heart was racing. It sounded like you were going somewhere? Walt gently removed the device from Luca's ears. Listen to me, Luca. I have some business to take care of. I'll be back in time to tuck you in. Luca hugged his father tightly. Promise? Walt stood up and walked to the door. He glanced over his shoulder. I promise. With a wink and a grin, he put on his hat and strode out into the evening sun. A figure approached soundlessly from the foggy snowfall. It stood above them, lingering in contemplation. Slowly raising one hand above Iggy, it snapped out 2 brisk raps on his head. From a deep slumber, Iggy sprang up defensively.
Get your hands off me!
Whether it was the calming presence or the recognition that he was not in danger, Iggy felt his clenched fists lower.
What do you think you're doing?
Luca looked up, gradually remembering his whereabouts. The figure exhaled a cloud of warm vapor.
You two certainly have caused a lot of commotion. What's that supposed to mean? Take it easy, Iggy. We're asleep, minding our own business. You're the one running around knocking on people's heads. I'm sorry if I hurt you, Iggy. You didn't hurt nobody. Anybody. Alright, this is my favorite character. Me! Oh, I see. You think you're better than me, you...
When it came to complete strangers, Iggy had trouble cobbling together an insult.
You big-hatted, scuffy-necked furball. Uh-huh. Okay, let's lower the temperature a bit here. Interesting choice of words. I mean, let's all just calm down. Who are you? A friend. An observer. A hitchhiker on the infinite expanse of possibility. Great. How about a name? If you must call me something, you can call me Nat.
Iggy huffed with gratification.
How about you make like a gnat and buzz off? There it is!
Nat began to turn away indifferently.
Wait. Do you live here? You might say that. So you know where we are? You might also say that. Look, pal, we just want to find a safe way out of here. You gotta help us or not. Before knowing how to leave, we must know where they are. Alright, that does it. Luke, I don't know about you, but I'm gonna get out of here one way or another.
He turned sharply and began to stomp off.
Enough with the riddles. Iggy, wait up.
Realizing he'd worn their patience then, Nat relented.
Very well. I suppose this isn't the time for metaphors. I'll show you how to get back home.
Luca and Iggy turned around with hope in their eyes.
Come here.
Nat took a deep breath in.
Close your eyes.
Nat exhaled slowly, then snapped his fingers.
Okay, open them.
For a brief moment, Luca and Iggy let themselves believe that some great magic was about to unfold, until they opened their eyes and found themselves in the exact same place, cold and disheartened.
This is your home. This is Beacon Pines. Look, Nat, we don't know how we got here. Maybe we stumbled through some time travel gate in Weepwood, or teleported to some alternate universe, or this is all just some cruel experiment by Kerr and his goons. But this is not our home. You're inching closer to the truth. Alas, the reality is much less fanciful. Just give it to us straight. So be it. As I said, this is Beacon Pines. The original true Beacon Pines. You both grew up here. But the town you've called your home for the past several years is a replica. A remarkable achievement of engineering, to be fair. Oh my god, it's Final Fantasy VII! But a replica nonetheless. It's impossible. It's too much work. You need a whole town to replicate a whole town. Indeed, to pull off such a feat would require immense labor power. That which could be moved would be moved. That which could not would require a precise duplicate. We would have noticed. Someone would have noticed. You'd think so, unless the auditing was impeccable. A mind-numbing attention to detail. As for the innumerable trivialities which complete the tapestry, well, you can leave that to this miraculous thing we call the brain. It has a real aversion to discontinuity. Revulsion, even. The brain has a wonderful way of smoothing out the rough edges, keeping us sane. Luca and Iggy looked around uncomfortably. I'm not going to have to narrate this, am I? I'm doing like three attempts at voices right here. So you're saying someone made an entire new town and moved us all and no one noticed? Precisely. But why? Why is the one question that can never be answered with certainty. The best one can do is uncover.
Nat narrowed his eyes, furrowed his brow, and uttered,
Alright, welcome back, narrator. We missed you. The source. Why'd you say the source like that? Why, indeed.
Luca began to laugh uncomfortably.
It's all ridiculous. There's no way they
He
could...
looked down at his feet. His eyes started back and forth in contemplation. With a sudden pain, a thought struck him.
If this really is home...
He sprinted off into the pale distance. As Iggy turned to follow, Nat called out,
Iggy, it's not too late to turn back. Simply head west, through Weep Wood.
Chapter 6. The Source.
Well, guess what? We're gonna go take a look at that in the next stream, because that's kind of not where I had anticipated this was gonna go. I thought, genuinely, I thought each instance of the town freezing over was essentially just that. We reach the end of the story, there's nowhere else for it to really go, so everything stops, and we go back to the start. And then everything in that timeline, in that point in time, freezes and ceases to be. And like, can I do the thing? I can't do the thing. But for example, when the clipboards were swarming the treehouse, that would be an example of everything freezing over. They are just going to be there doing that forever. Because I'm not going back to that timeline. We instead went over to this one, over here. Click. It's not gonna work this time. I've reached my limit. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go raid someone. Look, it's the end screen. You see, you can't make me. That kind of just one more game works when it's Overwatch, young man, but not when it's this visual novel that just keeps on going. Who are we gonna go and yell at today? I think it's going to be Prairie, who is currently playing Dogwood. She's a pretty cool person, that person. Jaded Mew, I think you can probably wrap it next time. Do you know what? I think I might have one or two more branches that lead to dead ends. But yeah, I'm with you. I think I might be able to get to navigate my way to the end in the next stream. So that'll be interesting to see how we do. But yes, let's do that thing that I just said. There we go. Also, yeah, there's the raid message. There's the brand new wiggly emote. It's that goofy little cat gif, but it's Adelie. I hope everyone likes it. Right, yes, please do come back tomorrow. We're going to keep on going with Axiom Verge. you're gonna point and laugh when I reveal the answer to the problem I couldn't solve. So, come back for that. And until next time, goodbye.